sick jam, right? I guarantee no other podcast would ever use this as an intro in their entire life. The funny thing is, like, I like this song for a lot of reasons, and the rest of the song isn't even good. It's just like the intro is like pretty good, and that's
good
it.
intro.
Yeah. No, so we're pouring sake. We had to go and get as much alcohol as we could before the store shut down. No, we're not going to mention anything about. Imagine making a piece of media that doesn't include what's happening. It doesn't include the most current event ever. I think we can get through the whole episode without talking about it.
Well, I just did. So.
No. You said the word quarantine. That doesn't mean. We could be blasting methane and like be a danger to the public because of how much farts we're producing. And some people got to quarantine. Our neighbors. But we went out and bought. Colin went out and bought some sake. Oh, he's going small boy.
We'll see how it tastes.
Yeah, that's true. It's called, what is it? What's it called?
Is Taiku.
Or is it is there like a, yeah, I don't know. I'm not Japanese, so.
Taiku.
Alright, itadakimasu.
Itadakimasu.
It's very, definitely grain-based.
I mean, it's all rice-based, but yeah, that's the kind of...
It's very easy to drink.
Yeah, that's how you get fucked up.
But I feel like every sake I've had has been like, oh, we're plum wine, and it tastes like plumish, fruity-ish, you know? Like, this is way more subtle. So it's actually, does that mean it's actually good? Like, from a sake enthusiast?
I mean...
I don't know. I've only had, like... I could probably count on two hands the different types of sake I've had.
It was relatively expensive compared to the other ones.
Yeah, there's really no instant taste on the palate. And then it finished. There's definitely a rice finish. Is there like a, what does it say on the thing? Like, what does it say? I mean, it's good. It tastes.
This sake
I would
is
drink more of
crafted
it.
from a blend of Yamada Nishiki and Akabona rice polished at 55%. Soft, pristine, iron-free water. Famed number 9 yeast and handmade koji. Perfectly balanced. Full body with notes of peach and vanilla.
Okay. That's a good description. First of all.
It's a good package.
Yeah. Let me give it a sniff again. You're just getting all Domino's in that sniff.
That was Domino's and whiskey from before.
Yeast number 9? Is that a Beatles reference? Like... Dude, I only found out about that song, about Revolution number 9, in that Beatles class that I was sitting next to Alex.
We won't mention
Alex Alex C.
She's cute.
Like a very cute girl that I'm a fucking. She was like hi, like one time, and I was like hey, and that's it for the whole semester.
What a simp.
And I was like, yeah, I sat next to her, bruh.
What a simp, dude.
But then Revolution number, because the professor was like so it was Beatles / music of the 70s 60s, and so we went over a lot of like Beach Boys and stuff, and then he was like, does anybody know Revolution number 9? And then like a bunch of people raised their hands and I didn't. And they're like, he's like, no, not Revolution by the Beatles, Revolution number 9. And then like people like put their hands down, and Joe Mugnai was like, I've listened to it. And I was like, what? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then he like, I guess he was just like a Beatles. Like I was in a class of like people that I'd never had classes with before that were like relevant people in the school. It was actually crazy. And then we all listened to Revolution number 9 as a class. And then took a test about the Beatles, and I almost failed it because I thought I didn't have to study, and I probably should have.
Classic. Dude.
Yeah, every class in college you don't have to study for. College was scale of 1 to 10. How hard was college for you?
I can't put it on a scale, but I didn't try that much.
Didn't try that much. That's granted, like 5 range, right?
Yeah, but granted, my major wasn't the hardest thing in the world, so.
Right.
But that was on purpose because I didn't give a fuck.
I mean, we were at a teaching/nursing school.
Yeah.
And you were a finance major.
Started off as nursing, went to finance.
How did you last a whole semester or no?
I lasted a whole year in nursing.
Really, a whole year?
Mm-hmm.
What classes did you have to take for?
They were all like the.
You were still like gen ed-ish?
Well, it was gen ed and then core sciences and some of the...
So they weren't like waste classes?
No, but like it's not like I... What it was there's... In nursing, it's a lot of memorization, just like rote like memorization.
Which,
I'm not good at that. Like
really? No?
Like anatomy too, I was just like... I can't remember all these names.
The knee bone's connected to the
thigh bone.
bone.
50 variations of like the same word over and over, and I was just like, I will never remember this.
I don't get like, because there's no like rigorous way I feel like to go about teaching anatomy, right? You just have to either learn every bone in the body, or you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, basically. And it was like that, and then it would just keep like going like more microscopic, and I was just like, I can't remember all of these terms.
True.
And so then I was like, I'll change.
Because for me it was like super short-term memory based. Not that I didn't retain a lot of the information. Everything I understood I retained, but everything I didn't understand was specifically short-term memory. So like everyone was like, "Oh, you studying for the test?" And I'm just like, "No, like I'm drinking." Like, why would I study for the test? And then the morning of every test that I didn't really understand, I would cram and just purely short-term memory. Like especially linear algebra with what's his name? He was like the heavyset math guy with like all the tattoos, and his wife like was an adjunct and became like a teacher. I only had him for one class because I had Father Gill, who was a god, and I had Breedy, who also loved me, and they were both great teachers. And then I had what was his name?
None of these crossed over to accounting.
No, you never had any. Which is I think the most bizarre thing that as a math major I didn't have to take one fucking.
Because accounting isn't math; it's about.
No, but it's still like I should still have to know how to balance a fucking checkbook or something.
Rule set, and then it's all like Excel.
It's like, but as like a math teacher, you wouldn't think that somebody would fall back on accounting. Like, how would that not be like an underlying like safety net? Imagine having a core curriculum that included finance or something.
Imagine.
God. No, but so linear algebra was purely and this is when I'm waking up early because every math course that was essential was a 9 a.m. class on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I had no other classes Friday at any point in my entire like career except for math classes Friday morning at 9 a.m. after like a thirsty Thursday.
Awful.
And so every single math course on Fridays, I was A, still drunk, or B, falling asleep. So linear algebra, he was like, his name was Mike. I can't remember his last name. He was like, so just copy the notes as I put them on. And, like, me and, like, Karen are, like, on, because it's, like, in a semi-computer lab, so we're, like, Facebook chatting, like, during the class. I'm just like, oh. And then, like, when we're not chatting, he's just, like, writing on the boards. Like, he takes up the entire 1, 2, 3 sides of the entire room that have dry erase boards with, like, information that I should be writing down for linear algebra. And I'm just, like, my head's just, like, and my eyes are closing. And I'm like, I know he sees me falling asleep. So I'm, like, I'm trying to, like, bite my tongue and stuff. And it's so bad. Like, I'm just falling asleep in front of him, and he's looking at me like especially like going into college as a teacher. I was like, if some kid was just falling asleep in front of me, like, I feel like I would address that, you know, or like try and change something.
Almost as if they don't care.
I mean, he didn't, I guess. And that was the one class I got a B- in, and then every other math class I got a A- or better, I think. And, like, but it was like the last week of the entire course, I was just like, wow, I get it now. And then, like, the final happened, and I was just like, and I got like a 94 in the final, and every test up until that point, I was just like 81, 79, like,
yeah,
like I finally like broke through by myself, and I was just like, oh, I finally get it. I mean, like I said, the combination of being giga drunk still and falling asleep in his class, because every other math course I've had, they're like, this is a lesson for today. Here's a sheet of paper that has everything you need to know on it. You don't have to take any notes, but follow along with all the examples that we have. And it was so much better. It was so much better.
You shouldn't have to copy down notes.
High school should be like that too. You shouldn't have to copy down notes everywhere, because for me, I'm super visual. So if I'm like focused on like how my notes look, I'm just focused on like recording what you're telling me. I'm not focused at all on absorbing the information that you're telling me. So like in those classes that I take notes in like that, I have to go back to my notes and just try and like teach myself after that. And then these other classes that Father Gill's a god tier at, he's just like, yeah, here's the notes, and then let's do examples. And I'm like, wow, I can actually pay attention to what he's doing.
Yeah.
So it's way better.
Having to physically write down anything is degenerate.
Unless
you're like,
it's like, oh, make sure you're paying attention to copy these notes, or like what year is it? Like, let me get a quill and ink. Dude, my favorite story to tell for having Friday morning math classes every semester and not having any other class on Fridays is because we went out every Thursday. And Newberg said, if you've been to Pineapple Areas, you're immune to coronavirus. Oh, no, fuck, I mentioned it. Fuck. All right. Well, episode over. But, I thought I could get through it. We're still not going to talk about it. It's a sore topic. Everyone hears it every day of their life. But we went out on a Thursday night, and this is when I still had a flip phone. And yeah. We were in White House, though. I hadn't transitioned I hadn't been fully convinced that Shazam was the app that was going to make me get an iPhone, which was the tipping point, but I hadn't gotten there yet. And I had the flip phone flipped over the edge of my laundry basket next to my bed so it could like sit on something. So it was like biting the edge of it.
Yeah.
And I slept right through my alarm instantly. Like it didn't wake me up at all. And my two friends, Karen and Melanie, were calling me relentless because we had a test in Calc 3 Friday morning, 9 a.m. And I was wasted. Friday morning, 9 a.m. And I was just like, oh, like I obviously did not study the night before we went out. And I just got obliterated. And they were just like, it was funny because they were so cocky. Like, I think I answered the phone on the 5th or 6th call from them. And I was like so out of it. I was just like, what? And they were just like, we have a Calc 3 test right now. Where are you? And I was just like, oh shit. Like I realized it was like Friday morning. I was like, okay, I'm coming. And I hung up and I ran. I was 15 minutes late to the class. And I sat down and I was like silent and like everyone, because I knew everyone in the whole math department. They just looked over. They're just like, Greg's fucking late on Friday morning, like, and he knows we had a test. I was like, fuck, shit. And I sat down and I was so like, because usually when I'm still drunk, I'm just like, okay, I'm not hungover yet.
Yeah.
Like I'm still drunk, but I was like beginning of hangover, and I was just like, oh my god, like I can't even open my eyes. I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep. So I was like, let me get the fuck through this test. And I took it, I handed it, and I left. And the next Monday, because it was a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, Karen and Melanie were like, we all got our tests back, and Karen and Melanie were like, oh, how'd you do on your test? And Melanie was like, oh, I got a 96. And Karen was like, oh, I got a 98. And I was like, I don't know. And I looked down and I was just like, yeah, I got a 103. And they're like, fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. They were so pissed. And I was just like, yeah, fuck. I was like, I don't need to fucking study. And that was like actually like the proudest moment of my math career. Like, out of all the things, I was just like, yeah, I fucking beat them. And I was just hammered when I took the test. Like,
nice.
It was so satisfying. I mean, it doesn't justify any, like, at all what I did.
Poor choices, but good performance.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I was ready for the test before I started drinking.
I mean, no one else knows why you were late. You just could have been...
No, everyone knew. Literally the entire class knew.
Were you wearing the hat?
Oh, of course. I was known for the hat. I roll out of bed and I throw on my winter cap with the pom-pom and the braids.
Even if it's like warm out.
Oh, it would have been summer, and I've sweated so many times in that hat because it's been like not winter temperatures.
Yo, what's it smell like, dude?
It smells pretty bad, but it's like it's not like bad. It's like 3 years worth of human oil.
Ew.
So it's like, okay, so it's not quite like bed tier. That was really bad. That smelled bad. Like the year without changing my bed sheets, which we won't talk about. But I made it far enough to commit to a full year without changing my bed sheets.
Pretty sure
that's all we're talking about for that topic.
Podcast.
There's no more of that topic. No, did we? No.
Yeah, we did.
We did? Okay, well, you already get the gist of it. But my winter hat that I always wore, I specifically wore it to keep when my hair was messy because I was just fucking rolling out of bed every single day.
Yeah.
So everyone on campus knew me as like the winter cap guy. Even fuck, what was his name? One of the philosophy professors. That wasn't one of the classes I was in with you.
No, those.
But it was like
we had them both. We both.
What was his
had
name?
them,
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, asshole!" And he like yelled for me, like he's like, "Why are you wearing that hat?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "My teacher's calling me an asshole." Like what?
Yeah, dude.
And then that's the different teacher that saw me fucking fall on the 0% friction mud.
Friction coefficient.
Dude, I've never experienced anything like that.
It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
It was literally like,
you're just like,
dude, it doesn't make any sense. It actually physically doesn't make sense.
Just like arms and limbs flailing.
Because my mom's like, oh, I can't even imagine walking on ice. And I'm like, you just need to have balance. And I'll like sprint across ice in our yard and like driveway. And then like, and any ice rink, I can just like walk on it, no problem.
So
and then
I pushed him onto this mud.
It was like right after like it was like not a hot day, but a warm day after a snow melt.
Thaw, like.
Yeah, it was a thaw day. And Colin just like, it wasn't even a hard push. You were just like,
tapped him.
He knew what he was doing. And he tapped me. And it was like cartoon, like,
yeah, he's like,
heels in the air, like, gig. And then like launched up into the air like 6 feet. And then came down and was just like, dush! On my asshole in the mud in front of it, like, and then one of our education teachers no, you didn't have him as a teacher, but me like Christina and everyone did. And he was like the next week he was just like, hey, I saw you fall the other day. I was like, fuck, because I got right back up and I went to like,
stood back
I was
up.
like, I need to get out of here as soon as possible, and I like pushed off with one foot, and my foot instantly just gave out, and I instantly went down again, and I was like, what am I standing on? It was literally negative friction.
I was with Senzo Benzo, and we were dying
Oh
laughing.
my god. I was covered in mud. It was unbelievable. I had like I was like an asshole too. I had shorts with like high wool socks on,
Yeah.
and I was just like making a scene. It was so bad, dude.
In front of Hudson Hall.
Yeah, just to the left of Hudson. Oh my god. It was so bad.
I even remember, like, you just have to go back and like.
It was.
change.
I need to like dig a flag into the ground and be like. And it was literally like whoop 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 whoop, like the most.
Oh.
It was.
I'm tearing up.
Because that was pure comedy. Like without me being even aware. Like I was so embarrassed at the time that I was like, I need to get out of here. It didn't make any sense at the time.
You had finesse in so many things, but that moment.
I was like, yeah, I've been an Irish dancer for 18 years. I was like, yeah, I have pure balance, and then I was like, just splashing in the mud. I still can't believe it. And like to this day, like every time I'm like compromised and balanced, I save it too, and I'm like, yep, still not as slippery as that mud time. That fucking negative mud. It like it had to have been like there had to have been some kind of like
because that was
threshold conditions where it's like a triple point for mud, where it's like a solid, a liquid, and a gas at the same time, and I'm just like like there's no way. I just.
I could have pooped myself. And this was before we had moved into our house, so it was like...
Was it? I don't even remember what year it was.
It was the first time Matt and I like really bonded over something, because I didn't know him that well yet.
Is this a cork? What is this?
It's kind of... You just have to...
Oh, okay. There's threads and...
there's like a thread in it.
Oh. Why didn't you finish it?
Yeah. Good times.
No, that was... Which is crazy, because Colin almost didn't get in the house.
Almost wasn't in the house.
Imagine where we wouldn't even be talking right now. I mean, maybe we would be. Maybe we probably would have, because we were friends. We were good friends.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't have gotten to galactic tier, like basking till 7 a.m. It would have been. I feel like you would have it would have had to taken like a night where you came over to hang out, and then you like stayed, and you were like, oh wow, like this is what I'm missing, being on campus.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, I will split my room with you, and then we'd bunk, and then the whole thing would take place from there, with Carl as a roommate as well, which would be the rowdiest. Imagine me, you, Tom, Senzo, Carl.
That would have been sus, dude.
Dude, we would have caught fire the same day as our neighbors. We would have burned our entire house down.
He would have been like, hey, I brought some over.
Here's some 151. Want to take a shot?
College, man. Do you remember Jess Mataziski?
Of course. She's had like 2 kids?
Yeah, she is. Well, everyone has children.
Yeah.
I saw her bust ass.
No way.
Where? I was the only one, like, walking to Aquinas.
Yes. Dude, people busting ass and like trying to save it.
I like brought it up senior year. She's like, oh my god, you still remember that? That was like freshman year.
How did you even...
Tanked it.
You were just the only one that saw her?
Yeah, we just happened to be the only 2 people walking.
That's so good.
She just like...
What was the... Because I know there's a slope going down the... Like...
It was like on that sidewalk, but it was icy.
Okay. There was an ice factor. That's so good. Dude, my manager fell the other day inside a warehouse.
Falling is funny. Like it's
And he's like heavy set ish, and he's like, but the way he walks is like the fastest, like arms flailing. Like he has like if he sees a problem, he has to immediately address it. And we're like, yo, calm down. First of all, like you don't need to be anywhere. And he's just like, okay. And then he came down this like set of stairs. I don't know who got it on video, but it's like. Because all the videos in the warehouse are like from up on the ceiling, so they're high up. This is like a ground level video. I'm like, where did you get this from? And it's like super zoomed in and pixelated, but it's still hilarious. And there's like conveyors over to the left from the stairs that he came down, and he realized that there was like a jam on the conveyors. So he like sprints down the stairs, and then like from getting another jam up top. And then he like looks left and there's a jam and he's just like, huh. And he goes to like do this like sprint towards the conveyors on the left, and his left foot just like kicks out and he's just like, and like his whole like entire tailbone back slams into the ground. He has to be 250, and he's just like douche. And you see his like his like head's like trying to lean forward so he doesn't slam it. I don't know how he didn't hit his head into the ground. And he was like douche, and then he like looked around. And like got up as fast as he could. He's like, no one saw me, but we got it on camera. And then he showed me the camera, and he's like, he told me that like later that day, and he was just like, dude, he was like, I fell so hard, and I was like, no way. And he's like, and we have it on video, and I was like, you have to show me it right now. And it was the funniest shit I've ever seen. He went. I mean, he's a big guy. He went down like my height, but like 30 pounds heavier, and he just fucking went down. And the next day he was like, my back, it hurts so much. I was like, yeah, you got a lot of fucking weight behind that.
Raw fall is rough.
On concrete, it's like a warehouse, yeah. He just fucking slammed. But like instantly got up, like, oh. Dude, I've seen some nasty falls, like.
Well, you have dancing falls.
There's been two notable falls for me that actually like, because I was young enough to where it scarred me. The first one, I mean, so they were both seizure falls. Like, and the first one was this, I was at dance class and this girl did a kick over her head. I mean, which is very normal. Very normal. Girl does a kick over her head. Her bottom foot, though, slips out, and she's just like, like whipped and like slammed it in the ground. She didn't move for a second, and then she was just like, started like seizing, and I was like, I think I was 8, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And it was scary, dude. I had no idea. And she came to like a minute or so later, and it was super scary. And they were just like, oh yeah, if you hit your head hard enough, you can have a seizure.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? And then literally that same year, one of my best friends, Tom, I think he lives in Nevada now. Tom, if you're listening, reaching out, TK.
Tommy Nevada. Dude.
Kirschenheiter. He has a similar last name to you, as in everyone that's named Kirschenheiter is like in the U.S. is like related to him. Where everyone with your last name is related to you. So, but we were playing. It was basketball at lunch recess, but it was like 5-on-5 half court, which is like way too crowded. But we were like desperate, so we're just playing basketball. And this guy, Mike Cross, wow, what a throw. He was only with us for like a year. The fact that I remember his name, they both went up for like a rebound, and Mike Cross is a big dude, and Tom's like the same size as me probably. And Tom comes down first, and Mike Cross lands on his foot, so Tom couldn't move or land properly, and Tom falls over, and because Mike Cross landed on his foot, he falls over and just directly lands on Tom's head. And I'm literally like half a foot from both of them, and I'm like, oh shit, like they fell, and I was like, oh, and I just watched Mike Cross, his whole body just landed on his head, and Tom's face was facing me. So I saw his eyes, and his eyes had no color in them, and he just instantly was like seizing on the ground. This is 6th grade. He was just like, ugh. And I was like, oh shit, oh fuck. like no color in his eyes, and seizing on the ground. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what do I? It was so scary. Like, oh my
Scarred for
god,
life.
dude. Yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday. And I don't have a memory like that either. Like I have like a couple memories per year I was alive, and like that's one of like the major. Or it's actually at 7th grade, not 6th grade. Sorry, a 7th grade recess. Oh my god, dude. And I remember I went to English after that, and we were just like, yeah, is Tom okay? Like it was the whole thing. And then I called him later that night. We had a joint phone call between like me and 4 other friends and Tom. Tom's like, yeah, I'm okay. Like I remember that whole day, dude. It was a fucking scary thing. Do you have any seizure? Have you seen a seizure before?
Yeah, some guy next to me seized at a Flaming Lips show.
First of all, I didn't even know you went to a Flaming Lips show.
It was at a festival.
Okay.
And
That makes more sense.
yeah, so, and then what's his face noticed and stopped the show.
Oh,
So we had to
right,
get
right.
people, the medics in, and he's like, alright, everyone be calm. He's like in his bubble that he does when he walks over the crowd
Yeah.
and was like Zorb. And he was like, okay, like everyone just be calm. The dude was just like, just like on the like dirty ground.
How close was he to you?
He was literally right next to me.
Really?
I saw him and he was like,
He like was what caused it?
he's probably on drugs. I would assume.
Oh, so he just like went down and like he didn't like fall or anything.
And so
like,
he fell with his just like,
but that was like part of it. Yeah.
and we all just like spread out.
Yeah.
So
Dude, that's fucking stuff like that happens. I've never experienced like I mean I guess seizures are the main thing that you'd experience in crowds like that, but there's so many other things that could happen. Like people could break arms, legs, and stuff in crowds. Yeah,
sure.
like my other vivid memory. I'm responsible for breaking the arm of one of my friends in elementary school. I guess.
Classic guilt.
Dude, it was so bad. We played soccer every recess, right? And so we were like, no slide tackling, no slide tackling. We called it at the beginning of the match, and like not even 5 minutes in, I get fucking slide tackled hard, and I went down hard, and I was like, what the? I mean, I never swore until I was like 20 years old, so I was like, shoot, like poop. And I was like mad that somebody slide tackled me right after we were like, no slide tackling. So I was like, I'm slide tackling the next person I see. And I slide tackled my friend Dan, and I felt it weird too. He like caught my leg, and there was like a pull, and it was like I genuinely got him off guard, and he fucking went down, and he hit the ground, and I was like, oh, and I stood up, and it was just like, and we were like, what the fuck? And I turn around, and he's grabbing like near his elbow.
Yeah, but it's
like
arms.
flailing, but like halfway up his forearm is totally separated and it's flopping around. And we're like, oh shit, he fucking broke his entire arm in half. And my friend Tim sprinted towards the nurse's office was on like the recess side.
Yeah.
So he jumped through the window of the nurse's office and was like, we need the nurse out here. Like, and she came out and she was like, oh my god, his arm's completely broken. And then they're like,
all Greg's fault.
and they were like, recess is over. And like recess had just started, and they're like, recess is over, and I was like, fuck. And then like it was 5th grade, and we went back to the classroom and everything, and people that weren't like in the soccer game were just like, oh shit, like what happened? And they were just like, Greg broke Dan's arm, and I was just like, oh! I was like almost crying. I was just like, I broke his arm. And then like when he came back to school, he had like a huge scar on his arm from like where he had plates in his arm, and like mad screws. And he's like, dude, don't even worry. Like he was so chill about it. He was like, dude, don't even worry about it. And I was like, I'm so like I apologized to like his mom and everything. I was like, I'm so sorry for your son. Like it was so bad, and it was so bad. I was so worried.
I never broke anyone's bones.
I mean, I didn't intentionally break it.
In the 3rd grade, Cassie tried to kiss me. She like pinned me down.
Ooh.
And tried to kiss me.
You'd be into that now.
So I threw her off, and she rolled down a hill and just like broke her like adult tooth in half. I felt so bad.
You were just on a hill, like on like a
on
peak of a crest, like
a
almost
mountain.
kiss. That's a scenic, like, and you just like tossed.
I literally, it wasn't even. I like suplexed her like off me, and she just like died down this hill and she broke her whole mouth. And I was like, oh fuck. Yeah,
Dude, that's scary. I would be so worried.
Yeah.
Especially a girl that like tried to be into you, and you just like fucking toss her on a hill.
It's like, ew, and I'm just like. Usually just like a down spike.
I'm trying to like, how far was the drop? Like, did she roll a lot? Like, or was it just like an unfortunate landing?
No, she rolled a lot.
She did roll a lot.
Yeah.
Was there like a river at the
It
bottom?
was like.
I've never heard that story. That's so crazy.
Cassie, yeah. Dude, I wonder what she's doing.
Fucking Cassie, dude. Have you ever gotten into a situation where you lost a tooth? Like from like a physical action, not from like you having a loose tooth, obviously.
No.
No? Really? You haven't had like a loose tooth and then somebody like accidentally hit you and then
I
it
had
came
a loose
out?
tooth and I bit into a slice of pizza and it came out in the pizza.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of stories.
That happened.
What kind of pizza? Just plain cheese?
Because
Domino's bread bowl? You just bit it.
Pizza Putt in
Oh shit!
Vermont.
Because I have two. I remember we had. Wow! This is the most Pine Plains thing ever. We had in our gym class. This was third grade, I believe, third or fourth maybe. There was a segment in gym class where we did square dancing.
Yeah, we had square.
Okay, you had square dancing too, yeah. And it was like switch partners, and it's like you weren't allowed to be partners with somebody you had been partners with 2 times before that. So like me and my best friend Tyler, first name and last name got mixed up all the time. Obviously, we were partners first, even though it's like square dancing. We're just like, we don't care. It's fucking gym class. So we were partners, and then like there was 2 other partners between us. I think I was partners with Tucker Schulhoff, classic name. And after that, they were like, switch again. And me and Tyler were like, we know we're going for each other. And so we like sprinted towards each other. And like we weren't ready for both each other's like sprinting energy. And we jumped. And then just like collided in the air. And we were like, budge. And he's just like, oh. He's like, I lost my tooth. And I'm like, what? And then like the whole gym class stopped. And we're just like, Tyler's tooth fell out. And then like everyone was on the floor like looking for his tooth. And nobody found it ever. It was gone.
Ew.
It was gone. His whole he must have
tooth.
like I could have swallowed it. I don't know. Like
Ew.
I mean I don't think I did, but like
You could have.
his tooth was gone, dude. We just fucking bodied each other during square dancing and switches.
Yeah, in our square dancing, we like calculated what position we had to be in to like match with the hot girls.
That's the pro play.
Fucking nerds.
That's the real pro play.
And it was like they like mixed it up every time. We like adjusted our algorithm every day.
Did you have to do it like they had like a
we had groups of 4? So.
But did you have like we had a wheel in like AV Club TV that like had like this is what you need to do when you're dancing. So. It was like the most rudimentary like, and then like we had Coach B, Coach Butachka, because nobody could pronounce Butachka, so it was like Coach B, and he was just like whistling like, he's like, no, you're doing it wrong, and he like I
don't even know.
He had the thickest glasses and like you couldn't see his eyes ever. Classic gym coach, yeah.
I did have another situation where I lost my tooth.
You did,
and it's equally as unlucky.
So
I was like. I was drying off.
Wait. You're already too late. Go back. What was happening before you were
taking a shower?
Okay, you were taking a shower. I didn't know if you were like swimming in like a YWCA pool or something.
Drying off after a shower, and it was like an older towel, so there was like a thread loop And the thread loop caught on my tooth as I was drawing it. I was like,
no.
And the tooth just fell into the tub.
No.
Yeah. That's a true story.
No way.
That's a true story.
That's like a 1,000 Ways to Die on Spike TV scenario. Oh my god.
Everyone has some part of their life that's so improbable, but it happens anyway.
That's dude, I'm cringing because of that. That's scary.
But it was so quick, it was painless. It was just and I was like,
that was my other time, my specific time of losing a baby. Thank God it was a baby tooth. My friend Jordan's trampoline, and I went over to his house, and we were I've been over to Tyler's house a bunch of times, and we'd both double back slam and see who could get over the net, and on our backs, it was so bad, we were very dangerous. And I went over to Jordan's house and we played on the trampoline, and obviously everyone's launching each other, nobody gives a fuck. And I was like, I'm gonna do a power flip, I called it, and I was just I wanted to do because I had this thing when I go off diving boards, you can ask Ryan about it. It was legit. Everyone's like, how did he do it? And I did it at Penny's old pool parties and stuff. And I called it the suicide flip. And it was I would jump off to do a flip, and I'd grab both my feet and arch my back mid flip, and then let go and tuck and fold, right? And so I was but it looks cool because you're hanging out over the water, and then you tuck and flip at the end. And I was trying to do that on a trampoline. I was like, I'm gonna call it a power flip. And I was just poof, and I spread eagled and tried to tuck, but I had no momentum. And I just tucked, and I was like, oh fuck! I was so high in the air because he launched me.
Yeah.
Because you do everything when you launch each other. He launched me up, and I was just and I just threw my hands down and tried to tuck, and I landed thankfully directly on the back of my neck. It was the first point that touched the trampoline. And my knee instantly went into my face. Yeah. And I was just poof, and it knocked out and I have big teeth. It knocked out my front tooth. And I was just oh fuck! My tooth it was a 1-2, and then it came out. And I was oh! And then but it wasn't even, it was a baby tooth still, thankfully. Otherwise, I was just power flip. It happened so fast. And
it always does.
Dude, I still go on trampolines. That never stopped me. Trampolines and diving boards are so fun, I think.
I mean, sure.
I tried to do double flips and stuff. Ryan's family pool, town pool in North Jersey, and you jump as high as you can. You just fucking tuck, and I could do a flip dive pretty easily, and I was doing it consistently to where I could get enough height to flip and then open up right at the end, so I'm diving, and I'm I could totally do a double, because I wasn't trying that hard to rotate hard. So then I tried the double, and this is during the summer, wearing my contacts at a pool. Great idea. I mean, I wasn't opening my eyes underwater or anything, because I was I just want to see and not have to wear glasses in a pool or not see. Those are the two options. So I'd rather be able to see and not open my eyes underwater.
D-Gen.
Yeah. But this is pre-LASIK being affordable. Not that I've gotten it, because I haven't yet. But I did the double front flip, and I over-rotated. I did 1-2, and then because I just thought I had to book it. I thought I had to tuck and I almost did a double and dive. Yeah. But I came down so fast that I was rotating, and my face was just my face hit the water, and it ripped the my eyes were closed, and it ripped the contacts out of my eyes, and I was just it felt like I got slapped in the face, because I was just whoosh, oh, I just spit and almost hit the fucking mic.
Oh shit, yo.
But yeah, no, dude, I was just and I was just oh, and they were just dude, you almost had a double front flip dive, and I was just I can't fucking see anything. I didn't realize that I had lost my contact first, and I was just I can't see. And I was oh shit, I just lost my contact. Okay, I was worried I thought I just smacked my face so hard, dude. And oh my god, the classic lifeguard was on the left. There was two diving boards, and the lifeguard was on the left side. And Ryan is the king of can openers.
Yeah.
Like god
So
tier
you
can.
try to, like-
And he would just like we would try and like destroy the and he would just like arch his, it was beautiful because he would just like get the perfect like timing like angle because the angle matters so much. And he would arch his back until the last, like spread eagle until the last second, and then he would fold as he hits the water, and it would just be like, and she would just be like, "Ah," like completely doused. And then I was the king of cannonball dives, taught by Gary Tyler, my dad, the king of cannonball dives, and you would just go up and you'd spread eagle, and then dive, and then like curl into a cannonball, but go head first. And it would be like, and it flips like the water out. So I would like half like go to the side, and it would be like, and it would like fire it at the we were just aiming for the lifeguard 24/7.
Classic.
Oh my god! Even if it was a guy, we didn't even care. We were just trying to fucking douse the lifeguard.
I was picturing that it was a girl.
No, it was mostly girls, but even if it was a guy, we're just like, fuck you, we're getting you wet. Listen, we were ahead of our time. We didn't discriminate. But dude, I haven't been on a diving board in a long time. I mean, we went to Sky Zone with Brianna for her birthday, which, first of all, you had to get your own socks that had like grippies on the bottom.
Sky socks, dude.
Sky socks, yeah. And which are pretty cool. They're a cool design. It's like purple and yellow swirls, whatever. But dude, I was like, yeah. I was like, I've been on a trampoline my whole life. Like, good extension of the story. I was like, yeah. I was like, I've done every trampoline thing ever. And dude, it was so taxing.
We're out of shape.
We're so out of shape. I guess I didn't realize how in shape I was.
Yeah.
And now that I'm out of shape, I'm just like, oh my god, dude. Like I was doing some stuff that I was used to, and I was just like, oh yeah, like you can knee flip and stuff. And then, but like the plantar fasciitis in my right heel, like the trampoline like exemplified it times probably 10. And I was just like, I was limping the whole time. While I was bouncing, it was fine. But like walking afterwards,
yeah.
I was just like, oh my, like we were playing dodgeball and stuff, and I was just like winging, and it was fun because there was like a moderator, like lifeguard-ish person that would like stand on the side. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I don't care. And then like we all got on. There was like 7 of us ish, and then there was like this party of like 20 young kids, and like 7 of them got on the other side. Yeah. So he was like, we have a game. You guys are over here, and he like separated us, and we're like, oh shit, we're playing dodgeball, and then like against like
high school kids.
Not like middle school kids, and I'm just like side arming it as hard as I can. And they're just like, dude, just, like it was so good.
It was so fun.
It was actually, I mean, and some of them were just like, cause like I was the only guy I think, and then like everyone else was girls / that were athletic and not athletic too, and like Tara was just getting massacred and stuff.
Ball murdered.
Yeah, Brianna had some good and then like. Every like Caroline and stuff would just like stay towards the back, and they were just like, "Hey, we're back here. Like you can throw it." Wait, no, you were with us, weren't? Did you go to that or no?
Yeah,
you did go to that. Yeah, dude, my memory's so bad. Describing it, and you fucking went to it, and we had the basketball thing.
I thought you were describing it for the viewer or the listener.
No, I mean, well, now I am, because now I was like running through my memory. I was like, wait, I wasn't the only guy, dude. I hate when I do that shit.
I mean...
It actually bothers me a lot. Because I do it all the time, too. That I don't know. My memory... I don't know.
We're just going to go senile.
Specifics have to be, like... Specific. I don't know what... Like, there's so many... Like for you watching a movie... And you're just like, oh, yeah, I remember this scene. And I was like... I saw this movie a couple years ago, and I remember if I like it or not. I don't remember any part of the movie at all.
I go in like so many office buildings. I remember like the artwork on the walls of specific things like a year later.
Dude,
I'm just like, this is the layout of the building. Like, there's the bathroom.
I'm so opposite. I'm like, I remember. I'm like, yeah, I like that. I didn't like that. Yeah, dude, it's so bad. I like, and I feel like I'm like, is this? I'm like, has it always been like this, or is this a result of me, like, getting older? Like, I don't know. But I do that all the time. Like, that's probably like the 20th time I've like been talking to somebody and been like, we did this, and then we did that, and then like they were also there doing the same thing, and I'm like, fuck. Oh,
wonderful room.
I'm just like, oh
this
shit.
room. Have you seen this room?
Like that's not like.
Yes, we're in it.
Exactly. And dude, it's not even like a 30 thing. It's like I was doing that at like in college. I was doing that.
You just have brain damage.
No, I think it's just the like the way my memory works. I can only remember highlights. I think it's like a highlight driven brain. I can remember any music that you put in my ears, title and artist, but I have no idea what they're saying.
Yeah,
I know what the lyrics sound like, but I have no idea what they're saying.
It's like an instrument to you, not like.
Yeah, no, vocals are definitely an instrument.
Which is different from how.
And which I mean, and that's not. I do know a lot of lyrics of a lot of songs, and that does matter for, like, Spirit of the Radio for Rush. Obviously, lyrics matter, but for like my first like 10 listens, which, yeah, I just it's how it sounds, and then like there's, I mean, if it has like a good lick or like a good,
yeah,
I'll be like, oh, I know like those couple words, you know. I don't know, dude. Man, it's weird that people even have different types of memories. I think
we have different brains, dude.
But that's even weirder that the fact that we have such similar interests, but like our brains work so differently.
Nah, dude, we're just gay, dude.
Yeah, I guess we're fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean.
Do you guys? All right. Do you guys want to hear going back to brains?
Go to brains. Go to brains, dude.
This is an embarrassing story.
No, dude. That's what. No, me and you were talking. We're not talking to anyone.
This is embarrassing. So, when I was in nursing, I had like a psychology course. Or, no, was it sociology? I think it was sociology.
No, you had a yeah, it was. I think it was because I wanted a sociology course. I never got one.
Yeah.
And I know you had one.
And I like loved it. And there was this girl who like sat like near me because I always sat in the back of the class, not talking to anyone.
Yeah, like a normal college paper bitch.
And
like we are.
We had like chatted a couple times. I'm like one. This is so bad.
No, it's good.
I don't remember exactly what she said, but like.
What was the premise? How did it start?
Dude, I don't remember. Like, I don't. She must have talked to me. I don't know how it came up, but she's like, "This is so embarrassing." She like, I could tell she was kind of into me, and then she was like, she just flat out asked me. She's like, "Are you slow?" And I was like, "What?" And then she's like. Yeah, I was like, what? And she's like, you like talk? And I'm like,
You like talk?
No, she's like, you talk like, and I'm just like, what? And she's like, I don't know. Like, and I'm just like
the fact that you're monotone-ish?
Yeah, and I was like,
is that?
I was like, because I have a monotone voice. She's like, yeah. And I was like, so what am I slow?
What?
And then I was like, excuse me, my grade is so high in this class, I'm exempt from the final. And then I took her back to my dorm, and I boinked her.
Yes.
Like, she was, like, gauging the waters, whether I was fucking
Was she
retarded
trying to,
or
like,
not.
flirt with you? Or?
Yeah, but she just, like, came out and, like, said, like...
That's such a bad... That's gross.
What?
That's such a risky... Like, any other person would have been like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, well, I was like, what?
Like, even though you were like, what are you talking about? You were like, well, yeah, I'll still...
Yeah. Dude, I was like 18.
That's fucking crazy.
That happened. I was just like,
no
should
way.
I be embarrassed?
Dude, that was the same. Like, I experienced on the freshman cruise during orientation weekend. I was yeah, you know, I was specifically trying to match. I liked matching clothes, so I wore a gray sweater with a maroon polo underneath, so that the collar of the maroon was sticking out, and I had maroon shoes on to match the collar.
Yeah.
And then fucking Shrek came up to me and was just like, can I ask you a personal question? I was like, yeah, like, I don't care. Like, what do you, like, what? And she's like, are you, like, you're gay? And I was like, what?
Yes.
And I was like, what? And she's like, well, you're wearing matching. And I'm like, yeah, I like to match. What do you mean?
Dude.
I'm like, I'm hitting on your friend right now. What do you mean I'm gay? I was like,
the amount was just degenerate. Like,
the amount was so bad, dude.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't have to take the final because it's irrelevant because my average is so high in this class.
That's always the giga flex. I think I only had one class that they were like, if your average is above 93.5, you're allowed to not take the final. And I was like, I had one class and I was like, finally a class that I can have. And it was a common core class. Like, dude, I don't know how. Dude, astronomy was the easiest life science ever created. And first of all, I was excited to take it. I was like, oh, they actually offer astronomy. It was an adjunct that taught astronomy in high school that taught evening classes at the Mount that me and Matt took as classes. It was me, Matt, Sam Sinatra, Joe Ed. It was a class. It was a class.
Going for that easy credit.
And Matt was making, every single time he went, he was making blue Powerade rum in like a metal container, so he like couldn't see. And him and Joe were just like passing it back and forth, like doosh, doosh, doosh. And I'm like, you guys are hammered. Like, what are you guys doing? And then like we had one test per not quarter, but we had 3 tests, like a halfway, an end point, and then a final. And then like everyone was just like, this isn't fair. This is the hardest test I've ever had. And they were like, you didn't explain anything. And the highest grade, like not counting me, in the entire class, this is probably 25 people, was like a 69. Matt was like 61. Everyone was in the 60s, and I'm like, yeah, I got a 98. Like, he said all of this in the notes. Like, did you guys not pay? Like, I was like 98, 99, 98 for like the 3 tests, and everyone was just like 60, 65, 60. And they're like, where's the curve? And the adjunct was just like, yeah, this guy's making you guys not have it. They're like, fuck you, Greg. Fuck. And I was like, fuck you guys. You guys aren't paying any attention. You're just getting drunk on fucking blue Powerade and rum. Are you kidding me? And Mac's like, haha, dirty, like dirty. And then he doesn't have a degree now, like because of that class. Like,
I was looking at the picture of him celebrating with his fake not diploma.
Wait, when he was like walking down the street. Yeah. He walked but didn't get a diploma. Dude, it's crazy. Like, somebody mentioned earlier tonight that people that are graduating this year aren't going to get to walk.
Yeah,
I think that's crazy. I think the crazier thing, I think the main thing that stands out to me for our year of graduating was not the fact that we walked, but the fact that the night before we fucking smoked up on the graduation stage before any of the chairs were there.
Yeah, dude. And
nobody stopped us. I mean, campus security came around way after we were done. But there was a big group of us that
it was a large
smoked
group
on our graduation stage. Like that's pretty. And then, like it was like a dewy, like misty, like
Oh yeah.
early morning. We're just like, wow, like this is it. We had time to like reflect on our like college career, and we're just like, wow, like this,
It was a
it's
moment.
over.
It
This
was
is
a moment.
it was it was very much a wave, like a product of the wave of that era. Yeah, and I mean, people were there that like shouldn't have been there. Not shouldn't have been there, but like were unlikely to be there.
True.
And it was, I think that was it was a great moment shared. And so now people this year don't even have a stage to smoke on. They just don't even have a stage at all. They're just like are they like how are they delaying like graduations, or are they just saying, oh, here you go, we'll send you an online copy of your dippy.
They would just send it to them, right?
I mean,
I mean, like, because they're not finishing the whole semester?
No. People that do finish.
Yeah,
I mean, they have to have some kind of proof so they can get jobs after, right?
I mean, didn't...
We had to go back after pick up our official ones. You're right.
Yeah, the diplomas came later.
Yeah, they gave us the thing to hold it in during the graduation ceremony, and then we had to go back.
Technically, I graduated in August because I fucked up.
Wait, what do you mean?
Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
I had to take one summer class. So here's the story.
Oh wow! Okay.
So I was in
all professional credit disapproved.
I was in honors, and one of the honors.
First of all, talking about honors, there was a number of people in honors going into the end of freshman year.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the freshman year,
5.
It was Colin and like other person. Because all of us were just like, it's not worth it.
It was me and then like 6 girls, and that's
yeah. Well, that's the story of our
college.
College is a 1 to 7 guy to girl ratio. So
yeah. So one of the perks of being in honors was that you had early access to classes. It was
I wish I had stayed in honors specifically for that, because I missed out on a couple of classes.
Like 2 weeks before. And what happened was, so I did honors for 3 years and then dropped it because I didn't care. And
you were holding the golden egg, like,
yeah.
What's the guy that was in charge of like the honors program, who was just like, Colin, you're our last hope.
Yeah,
and you're just like, I'll do my best, senpai. Like,
and so what happened was I dropped it, and they never fixed the thing in the system, so I could still sign up for classes early. Because what it is it was locked up until you saw your
like rank. Yeah,
no,
it wasn't a rank. It was
no, there were like numbers, but you had to go to your counselor or whatever.
Right, to get your number.
Yeah,
but it was still based on like students that had more years than you had a higher number.
Yeah,
so they could choose first.
It was locked until you went to that like thing, but I didn't have it, so I never had to see my like the person ever. So I
just fucking, what was it? Not a superintendent.
What's it called?
Guidance counselor.
That.
Yeah.
I forget the name.
And I had to go like every semester, be like, give me access. And she was pretty chill. My guidance counselor.
So I didn't have to go. So I was like, yeah, I have my whole thing planned out. What happened was I took too many courses in my major, and I was missing an extracurricular.
Really?
I was like, I'd taken.
So you were like over majored?
Yeah. And they're like, no, you have to take it. And I was like, what? Like, just like, let me. They're like, no, you have to take. So I took I had to take like art history in the summer.
Wow.
It was the dumbest. It was all my fault.
That's just
it was just like a
so that's from you not going to your
because I didn't have someone guiding me. I just fucked.
And I feel like I almost missed out with going to that person every single time, and she's like, these are the exact stats that you need for the entire graduation process. I'm like, oh, I almost missed one, and I went to her every single semester too.
Yeah, I thought I could handle it, and I fucked up 3 credits.
I mean, still got your degree though. Count it.
Well, yeah, it's like I said, August, but
I mean, technically, I got my degree, but not a teaching certification because I gave up student teaching. Dude, I don't know. I don't know if I had
been a good
so
dude.
well, the tipping point. I know I would be a good teacher. Would I have killed myself? Maybe. But my the tipping point for me was I had a psychometrics class with an adjunct teacher that didn't give a fuck. So she was like, I don't know if I'm going to be hired next year, so I'm going to tell you like it is.
Yeah.
The entirety of teaching and everything about it. And she just laid it out on the floor. And I mean, while also covering whatever psychometrics covers. I forget what the curriculum is there. But it was, to me, I was like, oh shit. I was like, teaching kind of sucks. I was like, the amount of pay you get, the hours you got to put in, the monotony every day, you got to teach the same thing. And then you have people that don't like want to participate, and then you're trying to find participation. It's like all these things, like that's surface level. And then I was like, yeah, I'll still do it. And then I started student teaching, and I had to teach P&Q tables was like the subject that I came in on. And the guy that came to observe me was just like, Greg, you're doing a great job. Like, you're one of the top student teachers that we have. I'm like, I want to drop it. I was like, I can't do this anymore. And they made me see the school psychologist. They were like, are you fucking sure? And I was like,
suicide watch,
dude. I had, and it was funny because I was just like, I was so distraught. Because first of all, I had to call my mom and be like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I thought I wanted to be a teacher for my whole life. And then I had to tell all that guidance that I didn't want to be a teacher anymore. And then I had to go to the school therapist and convince her that I was of sound mind. Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, that whole conversation, like, was pretty cool. But like the very end, I was like borderline, like I was fighting, like crying. I was like it was taking all, and she's like, yeah, you seem like very leveled. and I was like so close to just like bawling, crying. And I got through that, and then they passed it, and they were just like, yeah, you don't have to do student teaching anymore because, you know, you dropped teaching, but you still have to take all these credits so that you can graduate with a math degree and a psych minor. And so every class that I took, I had to take the night class of, because nothing else was available.
Yeah.
And I was already late on the sign-up periods. So like one of my classes was some kind of economics class that I had to take credits for. And I showed up to the first class. The second class was the midterm. And I fucking got like a 90 on it. Like I was just like, this is like, I'm not even trying to, like, it's so dumb, dude. I'm like I almost wish college was a little harder. Not in the sense that like I changed my major, but in the sense that like if I was a math major, like I mean, it's not a math college, so it's a teaching college. So I think it definitely did its purpose for teachers. But I knew all the teaching people that were math people, and I understand now why a lot of kids don't like math, because some of the teachers aren't good at math. I think it really comes down to the difference between memorization and understanding. I think are really two very different things. Very different things. And the people that understand stuff can teach so much better, which is why all my professors were so mad at me for dropping out of teaching. Like, Father came up to me, like, we had a party at his house, and he was like, I know I've talked to you before about this, but he's like, because we were having drinks and stuff, because it was like a party after we graduated at his house. Yeah. Of just like the math people. And he was just like, I know we've like talked about it, but he's like, what the fuck? He's like, I don't get it. I don't buy it. Is what he said. He's like, I don't buy it. He's like, you're a teacher. He's like, I don't buy it. And I'm like, no, these are the reasons. And I told him all these like reasons and stuff, and he paused, and we're listening to like Truth by Alexander. because it was unbelievable, and and then like he paused after I like told him all these things, and he's like no, he's like, you're gonna be a teacher someday, and I was just like, okay, like he was so convinced, like him, Breedy, like everyone were just like, no, you're because I was helping my teacher friends like make presentations and stuff about certain things, like I was probably like in the core top 5 of like the class that was like,
Yeah.
you're a math teacher and you're gonna be good at it. Because there was a ton of like, you're a math teacher and you're gonna be an okay teacher / babysitter. Yeah. You know, that's like also which is, and everyone can tell like who those people are when you're in that. But they were just like, Father was so mad. He was just like, he's like, I don't accept that you're giving up teaching, and I'm like, well, I'm giving it up. And I gave it up, and then now I work in a warehouse, and then
I have middle management.
And I think about it sometimes, going back to like,
I mean, you're probably
teaching.
making more than a teacher makes now.
I actually probably am.
I think so.
Yeah. But I think about teaching, and I'm just like, I get so stressed out when I even think about like that lifestyle. I'm just like, I'm so glad, like,
of course,
I'm so glad that I'm not doing it now. I really am. Which is, and that's what pissed me off about this is branching into another topic. We got time for this topic? We got a little bit of time for this topic. When I went to Deborah, a psychic medium in Newburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right on the cusp of like graduation, and didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. This is gone. So that's you.
When he became a bartender.
No, so that first of all, no. So psychic medium Deborah. Long and short of it is that she told me. So my mom was super into it. She gave me not recently, but a couple after we moved into this apartment, she gave me a book by Deborah that was like reality, what you should like, all the like. I'm just like, she's like, my mom was like, I really want you to read this, like it's important. And I was like, I love my mom, I respect like her views and stuff, but I'm like, yeah, I'll read it, you know. And I'm like, I'm not reading this ever. And the tell for me was, and it took me a while, because I actually believed, I think I believed, I took the bait when I first went to Deborah, and
you gave her the benefit of the doubt.
No, but it was like, because I was still like, I don't know, I think I was still God believing at that time, like traditional God.
Degenerate, dude.
Yeah, no, dude, it was a big transformation. It was like, so I told, I laid it on her. I was like, I told Deborah my whole troubles and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I want to start a bar with my friends. And she's like, that's not what you want to do. Because I was a little hesitant. I gave her all the body language she needed.
Like cold read.
And then I was like, yeah, I want to write a book about the math of like society. Like this like woke ass G-bombs bullshit. Like, classic, and she's like, you should follow that. Like, she told me exactly what I wanted to hear. And I went to her with the goal of hearing I wanted her to tell me that I was wrong.
Yeah.
Which is not what those people do. They tell you, they feed into you and make you feel, they validate you. Yeah. And I wanted somebody to tell me that I fucked up. And she didn't do that. And it took me about a year actually to like just reflect about everything she said in my like personal views and stuff, to be like, wow, she's fucking scamming everyone, and there's no reason for me to believe in God at this point, because I was already teetering on that, and then I had to super depression, watch the first season of BoJack 7 times in a row, and then reform my entire life views. You know, that's how it happens.
Sad horse.
Yeah. So and now I think I'm in a better place. Yeah. Realism is what I'm going for, and I think I've at least achieved that partially. So that book is it still sitting on the countertop over there?
No, I remember it being there, but we moved.
I don't know where we put it. It's gone.
It's gotta be.
I did not throw it out because I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to my
Pretty
mom.
sure I picked it up and put it in your room, like hid it in there.
Yeah. So I mean, I just can't. Which is like it's proof for me that like because I'm a big fan of like Darren Brown and stuff, who are like they specifically try and manipulate people's feelings and stuff like that, and then with the exclusive intent to entertain one and to disprove people that are like mediums and psychics and stuff like that. So I'm like these guys are cool because
you literally were just giving people the benefit of the doubt.
But you're right.
And God the benefit of the doubt.
You're right. But that was my entire I was such
It's just funny because it's like a meme. But like,
you're right. I've never been.
You lived that shit.
I've never been more of a meme of myself than like my entire upbringing. You know what I mean? Like
the benefit.
I grew up such a mama's boy, and then I was in college such a mama's boy type
until he wasn't.
And then I
got the taste of.
And then I got
some alcohol.
And then I got. Well, no, like I said, even after getting drunk, I was still a God guy. And then once I gave that up, and then wanted to kill myself for 7 years. I formed a new outlook on life, and I feel like
do it, dude.
And I feel like I have a better hold on reality and what I kind of expect for myself.
Sure, dude.
Yeah. And now I'm not worried about it. Me and you live in an apartment. You want to get a house sometime? You let me know. We're both making 60, so we can fucking squoik some yoinks. We can get you that thought dungeon, pro bono.
I could use some more ceiling anchors.
Dude, I will help you set that up. 100%. We will finish the basement, but finish it in the most degenerate way possible so that it doesn't look finished, so that it's like a dungeon.
You can... It's like a...
Is that part of it? Does it have to look...
No, I don't need an actual commercial thought.
So you're utilitarian right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can, I know a way to put a recessed, so it's not, they aren't hooks, it's you screw in the hook to it, so it's flush.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
So they don't know what it is.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely, swings / whatever you want to call them are I'm into that. I can get behind.
I can get behind hand holding.
Yeah. Hand holding or or they're just and you're just
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go and jerk off down there because I'm never gonna see a girl again in my entire life. So.
That's why we'll have a giant TV for watching anime.
2D Master Race.
Yes.
Should I get back on Tinder? I haven't.
Dude, okay. So
because I know Goth Girl is R.I.P. First of all.
I was kind of upset. It's the first time I've been upset.
She's one of the most attractive people I've ever seen.
I literally hope it's because she was talking to someone else and decided to date them.
She had to have had a catalog of humans,
and she decided to date them, so she just
ghosted
me.
You were just a little too slow to act. Whatever, yeah, that's fine.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
She ghosted me because I said
no,
something.
She definitely had to fucking backlog.
Yeah,
There's no way she didn't. She's so attractive.
And the conversation was so positive.
Were you only in Tindy text? Or did you have personal numbers?
I was it was gonna be the next message.
So that's what it was, maybe, that she wasn't ready to go personal number.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, but
Either way, the fact that she swiped on you was, like, I think, is a crowning achievement.
The state of we were just talking about like the importance of practical effects in cinema, and I was just like jerking my gherkin hard. She was really into horror and stuff. Literally a goth.
Dude,
chick.
girls into horror.
But yeah, the state of Tinder. So
should I sign up?
I don't know.
Should I make a different? Obviously, I would not make the same profile.
I don't even want to know what your profile is like.
We can manufacture it
so
together.
at this point, let's see. Yeah, I forget when I joined. It's probably been 6 months or over. A little over. What's it? It's almost 6 months.
It should, yeah, because I had started
August.
I'd started dating Liz.
Yeah,
and that was August.
Yeah, so it was August.
Yeah.
So at this point, I've had like well over 100 matches.
Dude, you've had like
Not
you've had like 2K matches. Don't even fucking lie, dude.
I've had like 100 of actual likes.
He's
that I don't
denied
know who they
every
are.
girl ever.
So I just like had people who I match with and don't talk to ever.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes
because every girl matches with him because he's a fucking stud.
No, literally, my profile is just like an honest.
Yeah, and that's exactly. It's funny that you say that because
It's like
so many
honest.
girls just want an honest guy.
And like my default picture is me with Sonic. Like I'm not trying to
Like
front anyone.
the profile's like simpish, and then you're just like, nah, but I'm a Sonic fan, and then like everyone that's not like
It's a filter for the good people.
like all the guys that see that profile, if they ever would be like, okay, I get like this guy's pretty cool.
He knows Sonic.
And he's like, and they're like, oh yeah, he's gonna get a bunch of swipes right. Like they get it.
My experience with online dating is I don't like it at all. It's.
But like what have you done offline dating to like prefer that, you know?
I don't prefer that either. I'm just saying it's not like a good solution. Everyone was like, oh, like if you're like not that social or whatever, it's like try online dating. It's just
I agree. I do agree with you.
It's the same or worse because people can just.
So what's the middle ground?
Killing myself.
Is it just like? See, I almost want to like sign up for.
Okay, so for me, if you guys don't know, like I've never had a girlfriend. I've never really been on dates.
He's had girls.
I've had girls, but they weren't like what I wanted. Like
you probably had more.
situational.
I think you've had more girls than I've had.
Definitely. But like it's like whatever.
Right.
But I just.
There's a difference. There's definitely a difference.
To me, this is probably too deep for podcast.
No, it's
me,
real.
like,
It's real.
Like flirting, like on Tinder, it feels like manipulation to me. Like I have to like steer the conversation into a certain direction to get them to go out on a date.
So compare that to you
instead of like a natural flow.
happenstancing, striking up a conversation at, say we're at Heritage and you're just like, some girl like makes an off-brand comment, and you're like ugh, and you're like drunk enough to be like ugh, and you make a little comment about it, and then there's a back and forth after that. Like, what's the difference between that and making the same comment on Tinder?
I think it's honestly the distance. If I'm thrown into something face to face, like I can't pause really. I can't run away because that's.
So you think reaction time is important?
Yeah, and I think you overthink things, and then both people do, and then no one knows what to say.
And do you think you're better or worse at?
So like
in that situation.
So to be honest, looking back on my track record, most of the time when I hooked up with people, it's because I was hammered. I didn't care what I was saying,
and that's why we're roommates because that's the
same thing.
That's how I got my last girlfriend. It's because I was fucking wasted. And I went up to her and I was like, "Could I have
literally
your phone
like
number?"
Every time in college, it was that. Like I just like
yeah.
I remember like one girl. I just I don't like sports or anything. I was just like BSing out of my beehole. Just like, yeah, I like
You're like Larry.
I like ball bat.
Larry David's bat.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, I love the Bankies. And then I was just in her bedroom.
She was like, "Oh my god, you love sports."
That was so
We go to a sports college.
Well, that, and I was like jacked out of my mind. So
that was very.
Everyone just assumed that I was like into sports.
You probably could have been a mute and like gotten like twice as many women.
Nah, dude.
You were fucking shredded. What do you mean? I mean, you were shitting out the most disgusting things I've ever smelled in my entire life. But you were shredded.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, we held down Women's Day.
It was.
We were bartenders and we did our job properly. The girls were attractive and they.
I mean, I found creep shots of me on Facebook, so.
No, yeah, obviously. Yeah.
It was some girl took pictures of my body and not my head in them. And then someone tagged me in them, and it was fucking hilarious. She's like, "Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed." I was like, "I don't care, dude."
That's so good.
I was just like, it was kind of funny.
It is kind of funny.
But, like, no, it's just different. I don't know. I don't like online dating.
we are older too.
Because I was like, oh, like, it's gonna, like...
Maybe it
boost
is.
my, like, my ego or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, these people are matching with me. So they must think I'm, like, marginally attractive. And then I'm just like, die.
It did.
Poopy.
It's absolutely the same experience.
Chili doggy.
Chili doggy. I mean, that's kind of the same experience that I had too, where I was like,
I don't know.
The matches that I did get, I was just like, oh, well, it makes me feel good about myself, but
for a second.
But none of I mean, maybe yours is different because you had over 1,000 matches, and I had like 7, and my matches just like never responded to me. Like, dude, it's right. Your phones are right there.
No, it's way under my breast.
But yeah, but I was just, I don't know.
I don't.
I think
like the whole thing.
I think
it's not my jam.
Especially after mentioning coronavirus.
Yep.
Especially after this whole. I mean, this is gonna.
New people like you.
Oh, and he's looking now. Now he's looking. I think this is gonna create a whole generation of people that are anti going out, which I think is gonna make the people that do go out slightly more exclusive and looking for the people that they want to find when they are going out. You know what I mean?
Guess.
I mean, but who gives a fuck? Like,
to
I'm
be
not
honest,
I'm not gonna find anyone. I'm gonna be single for my entire life, and I don't even care.
So here's the other thing. So like,
I play Doom Eternal forever.
I was building up the courage to like get on any service for years.
I think I can. I mean,
yeah,
me getting a girlfriend.
Well, I was like,
you
have to do it first.
I was on Tinder for
you get in the water
at least 6
first,
months.
And then I'll
yeah, I did it, and then I got a girlfriend, not from Tinder, but I got a girlfriend, and I was still using Tinder, and I was like, come on, dude, you're not even gonna get on Tinder. And then Colin was like, oh, I'll finally get on Tinder, and now it's like a crowning achievement for me. The fact that, and then. I think it has to have been a confidence booster for you to get like 1,000 matches. Like
it is, but in a certain sense, it's almost sadder. It's made me more depressed.
I mean, I do get that, but I think that at least like it makes it so that like when you do find someone, it's like easier to like. It's like a
10,000 days in the fire, dude.
It's like a control grab. Like, you know you have to be, like, committed to fucking land it. You know what I mean? So, like... so when you both are matched, you'll know right off the bat, and then she'll know, and then you'll both be happy, and it'll be fun. Because you deserve a woman more than I do, and...
I think it's the other way around.
Nah, what do you mean?
Oh, so what I was saying, so, like, I had, like, studied this, like, years in advance, and I was, like, looking through all these, like, stories, and everyone's, like... Because all these guys are like, oh, you need to, like, swipe on everyone.
Yeah, I heard that, too.
They're, like, you know, like, cast the widest net.
First of all,
that's
no.
degenerate.
Yeah, it's...
And then it's, like,
very simple.
There's, like, an algorithm that literally, like, makes you worse if you do that.
That, as it should. I
used no... strategy on Tinder. I swipe left on girls that I wasn't attracted to, and I also swipe left on girls who I thought were fake.
Oh yeah.
And then I also swipe left on girls who were probably real, but I thought were too hot for me.
Dude, I use the same exact plan. That's the thing. Once again, why we're roommates? Because I use the exact same strategy.
When I matched with someone, I knew we were gonna match. I was just like, they're obviously gonna swipe on.
See, when I matched with somebody, because I had a limited amount of matches, I thought they were just fucking spamming right because they were just told to get on there and spam, like just start swiping, swiper yes swiping. Because I played the same game plan as you. I was like, I'm gonna be picky because I'm allowed to be.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the draw of it, too, is that you're allowed to choose who you want to pick. But like to a certain extent, like you have to know your own limits, and you clearly have no limit because you're a fucking stud, and I'm like 10% of.
Girls just respect a Sonic fan.
Like, am I gonna have to like
put Spyro on?
No, Tails.
True.
Just Tails out, dude.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll just go full anime and fucking.
There's been a few.
I'll put a Rin in my fucking profile and be like, oh, I love Yuru Camp. Oh my god.
Like,
because if you find any Yuru Camp,
so like girl, yeah, so basically what happened was I ended up like most of my matches are like my type of girl. There's been a couple who are way off where it was just like, yeah, you're just hot,
right?
You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
And it just happened, but like most of them are like kind of artsy,
which is that's what the purpose I think of the app really is to link you up with those kind of people. Yeah. Doesn't mean you guys will fit, but at least you have like the personality type to go on, you know.
Oops, you missed a match. Oh.
I hate that it tells you that too. It's funny.
I mean, if I swiped left, then
dude, and there's so many apps too that I think it's just like a wash. It's such a wash.
I'm not.
And I tried so many before Tinder too. I mean, I was like, I didn't pay for any, but I was like, oh, let me get POF. And that was full of bots. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to get Bumble. And then Bumble had a couple bots, but was kind of good. But then I literally didn't get any matches. And then I was like, fine, I'll do Tinder. And then I got some matches with Tinder with some conversations. Because I think that's just like a population thing where the majority of people were using that app. And then, but nothing turned into anything. And then I just got wasted and made a girlfriend at a bar without an app. So I don't see any reason for myself to install another app going forward, but I think it's something fun to do when you're laying in bed awake.
But I think that's what makes it wrong is people treat it as fun, so when they don't actually like date on it.
That's also
because I'm guilty of that too. I'll just be like swiping, like match,
right, yeah.
Don't care.
So that's why I was kind of interested in doing because Bumble has a dating like side, and then they have a friend side. So you're just like, oh, I'm only looking for a friend.
You're just gonna cuck yourself?
No.
That's even worse.
Listen, the majority.
It's like I've given up totally.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm saying
that's exactly what it is.
What do you mean? Like, I'd prefer to make a friend and then date a friend.
Well, yeah, so would I. But
so why would you not want to?
Because everyone knows that's the joke.
Because there's no obligation. I mean, maybe because there's no.
But there shouldn't be any obligation on Tinder.
But there is. But there is already. Tinder's already a fucking thing that we're like, let's fucking fuck, dude.
So technically, like my sub who I play with very sparingly, I found on Tinder.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, there's obviously gonna be success stories on Tinder.
Yeah, I didn't have any indication.
We're talking about majority of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously you're going to find somebody that's going to match what you're looking for on Tinder and what she's looking for. But the majority of the time, I could have told you that before I even started Tinder that I wasn't going to find the person I wanted. That was my whole point of not doing Tinder up until that point was because I didn't want to even meet people that were on Tinder. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like...
But then you realize...
But then it's like, do I want somebody as desperate as me? And then I'm like, wait, I'm not even desperate. Now that I'm dating somebody, I want to kill myself.
Yeah.
I'm not even desperate anymore. Now I'm not on the dummy here, and I'm like,
That's the other thing too. Is like I'm just like my mental health is so rickety. I don't know.
Right. Right. I'm barely happy as like
This
a
poor
solo
girl's
person.
gonna end up with a dead boyfriend. She's like, man, I've really enjoyed my time.
It's like her roommate just killed him so straight up.
Just be like. I don't
Dude,
know.
The whole thing's a wash.
It hasn't been enjoyable. That's all I'll say. Despite all the matches and everything.
I think there's room for. Oh wow, that's a bold.
There's a lick back.
I think there's room for a different company to come through and to do some kind of social connection where there's nothing.
Not friends, not dating.
There's nothing. There's nothing.
Just call it nothing.
Just call it nutting. Is
Nothing. Just like don't even have any icons or like.
No, yeah, like it's.
You just have to like. There's no swiping.
If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. That's it.
It's a Rubik's Cube dating.
Rube Goldberg's dating app.
Okay.
You have to fill out like 30,000 questions.
Pretty sure that's just.
Why? Yeah, why?
OK Cupid is that one.
Yeah, but I also did OkCupid way back when, the free version.
Yeah.
And still matched with a lot of bots and stuff. Like, why can't I be like, if somebody answers this one question one way, match me with them? You know what I mean? If they say that King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard is their favorite band.
Hey, we're King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard?
No, but there should be that, like, there's, all the dating apps are just trying to be a catch-all dating app. So, obviously, there's not going to be any specificity. Because then what's the point of even using the app? And I mean, that's what I'm saying. There needs to be an app that is just communication-based so you can get your necessities across without having it be like, oh, I want to fucking doink you on an app. So, you saw my Instagram too. I linked it. And then it ruins your entire reputation. I don't know. I think there's a lot of more subtle interwebs to be played, but But I'm also gonna be happy with being single for the entirety rest of my life. So, that's where we are right now. So who gives?
That's the state of the union.
State of the fucking union. So nobody, we don't care. I think this is Italian. A Vera L'Uomo by Corte de Miracoli. It'll be a fucking Miracoli if I ever find another girlfriend after this. Yeah. Whatever. We're gonna drink more. You're not welcome. So see you later.